Hey, this is H1. We're going to be running it back with another episode talking about why Magnus Carlsen isn't defending his championship. I'm sorry, I can't even say the logo because I'm surprised as you are of you just hearing about this news, and I had to talk about it today. This is an emergency meeting. I've never done this before, and we might be discussing chess knowledge, chess wisdom, chess understanding, but at the same time, we got to go over this article and what's going to happen if Magnus Carlsen denies it altogether, which he already publicly said that he done. And let's just go over what the chess community is doing right now. Is it hectic? Are they for what Magnus Carlsen is doing? Let's just take a breath of fresh air and logically go over what are the scenarios that are about to happen and see which side everybody's going to be on to be the next world chess champion. Let's go to the next segment. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So this is what I want you to do, if you're interested, of course. Download the Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started. Download the Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started. Thank you for listening. Okay, let's go over the Magnus Carlsen comments on his decision. Now, I got these comments from various YouTube channels, some Hikaru Nakamura, some Gotham Chess, some under some other channel, probably Chess24, St. Louis Chess Club, etc. So these are pretty much the thoughts of everybody. It's either one side where they wanted him to play and it is very upset that he didn't play, and then there's the other side that's like, well, you know, it's really sad seeing the person that I looked up to not being motivated to go through with the World Chess Championship right now. So let me just read some of the comments. The first one, let's be honest, a World Championship title won without a win against Magnus Carlsen does not feel like a World Championship title. Do y'all agree with that? I kind of agree with that. It just doesn't feel right. A little bit. It doesn't feel... I hate to say this because Jan Nepo is a good chess player, but it doesn't feel... It feels like he was gifted this World Chess Championship title. But, hey, I digress. We got the next comment that said, it's sad that Magnus won't continue as the world champ. And, you know, excuse my English or whatever, because these comments, people don't care about the punctuation or grammar when they're delivering comments under YouTube channels. But anyway, let me just read that one more time. It's sad that Magnus won't continue as the world champ. For me, he's the GOAT. Completely dominated the field throughout the past decade. If it were me, I would want as many World Chess Championships as possible, but it's obviously not me. LOL. Looking forward to his journey to 2900, which, aren't we all? We want some chess player to reach 2900. And I wanted it, me personally, I wanted it to be Magnus Carlsen before he ever quit doing the World Chess Championship, because he did say all of this last year and he got us all prepared for it. We just didn't believe him for some reason. But anyway, next comment. It's really sad that Magnus will not defend his title. I can't imagine a chess world without him. That's sweet. That's caring. You know, I'm glad that people are still seeing the feelings of the world champion, even though technically, if this was any other celebrity or movie star, they would be like, who cares about your feelings? Just play Iron Man. Just play Captain America. Like, I don't care about what you think. But at the same time, you know, hey, I guess you can bring that to chess, but I'm glad that there's actually two sides. It's 50-50. It's just not everybody mad at Magnus Carlsen. It's actually more people that are positive about what he is doing. And, he did try to make it more interesting for himself, but we'll go over all that later. The next comment, respect to Magnus Carlsen, the Mozart of chess. Don't we all think he is? There's probably some people that's listening to this that's like, I don't think that he's the Mozart of chess. That's always to Bobby Fischer or Gary Kasparov. Don't be that guy. We're going to miss Magnus Carlsen. And mostly I am too, because, man, I respected him a lot. Okay, next comment. Perhaps he might regret this later, but I suppose he can always challenge if he's in the mood. Right now, the cycle with the match every 2 years is very intense, which we didn't talk about how intense the 2-year cycle is. They literally study every single day on each other's opening. And that's why usually, there's 2 people in the World Chess Championship, and each person, both of them have coaches. And not just one coach, but multiple coaches to go over prep for the other opponent. And it can be really intense because of the pressure that is set on that World Chess Championship format. And it can get stressful. It can cause anxiety. Hey, it is what it is. This is what you sign up for when you start when you start going on that chess road. Just like every athlete, every artist, everybody who has to perform at a top level in front of a crowd, this is what you got to go through, and chess players do too. And plus, there's a lot of money and just I'm trying to find this word. It's a lot on the line, especially integrity. And plus, nobody wants to lose. Everybody wants to win. And basically, we'll go over that later. But anyway, the last comment I'm going to be reading is, one can see that this wasn't an easy one for Magnus. His body language says it all. So those are pretty much the heartfelt responses of the community of the chess world that I've seen. I didn't look too far down. Obviously, I'm not going to see the people that's like that nobody agrees with and that are hateful. But hey, these are pretty much the sentiments that I had. I felt all of these comments when I read them, and yeah, this is pretty cool. All right, let's move on to the next segment and figure out what's going to be happening and what was this interview like. Looking at and reading the chess.com article talking about breaking Magnus Carlsen would not defend world championship title. Are you looking for a good quality chess set for playing at home with friends or family? Or maybe you need a good quality chess set for chess clubs and competitive tournaments? Well, if you need both of those, then the House of Staunton might be right for you. The House of Staunton has built a reputation of nicely crafted chess pieces, chess boards, and chess sets. Not only do they have luxurious handcrafted chess sets that were even used at the Candidates tournament, but they have affordable sets for an everyday chess player. So here's the deal by each one. If you use my coupon code ChessKnowledge with all caps at www.houseofstaunton.com, you can get your first purchase 10% off. That is using my coupon code ChessKnowledge at www.houseofstaunton.com. You can get your first purchase off 10%. Okay? There you go. Thank you for listening. Let's go over this chess.com article called Magnus Carlsen Would Not Defend World Championship Title. And it starts like this. GM Magnus Carlsen will not defend his world championship title against GM Jan Nepo next year. Carlsen announced his decision on a podcast on Tuesday. According to current regulations, FIDE candidates tournament winner Nepo will now play the World Championship against candidates runner-up GM Ding Liren. And that's pretty much what's going to happen. Since Magnus Carlsen isn't going to be defending his title, that's just going to go towards the runner-up of the candidates tournament. So it's not like we're not going to get a match. It's not just going to be given to Jan Nepo so easily, but he's still going to have to face off against the clear second, other than Magnus Carlsen, since he doesn't want to defend the tournament, the World Championship title anymore. But anyway, let's move on to the next part. Pretty much what Carlsen said in the interview. I've spoken to people in my team. I've spoken to FIDE. I spoke to Jan as well. The conclusion is very simple. I'm not motivated to play another match. I don't have a lot to gain. I don't particularly like it. And although I'm sure a match would be interesting for historical reasons, I don't have any inclinations to play, and I will simply not play the match. And it's pretty interesting too. And just to let you know, I'm not going to be reading the whole article, just the main points that I pointed out and already read over before I started speaking. But it's pretty interesting just to see how the great chess players of the world always get bored of the game for some reason. Because he's not motivated anymore. And that's pretty sad that he's not motivated to play chess. But, you know, it is lonely up top. And you can clearly see the big difference between Magnus Carlsen and the second, just by the classical ratings. If you look up who's the top classical rating, you can just see by the rating points who's better, how much Magnus Carlsen is better than the second most highest rated player. And so let's skim through it right quick. During the FIDE candidates tournament, Carlsen had a meeting with FIDE's president and director general, which apparently didn't have enough effect to convince Carlsen to defend his title a fifth time, which, if you remember, Carlsen have been world champion since 2013. So next year would be a decade, which to me, technically, he's made it a decade. I'm just going to give him the whole decade of being world champion. And it's something that we're always going to remember. And he's been top rated chess player since 2011. And that's a while, you know, that takes a lot of guts and determination to do those things. So talking about this meeting in Madrid, Carlsen said, and I'm reading the article, I did not have any demands or suggestions for that meeting. They did have a couple suggestions, but the gist of it was that I was there to tell them that I would not defend my title in the next World Chess Championship match. The decision that he's saying is final. I don't exactly know if it's been confirmed yet. I know he said it. I don't know if he completely denied not doing the World Chess Championship match. But if not, then hey, it's going to be Ding Liren against Jan Nepo. And plus, Jan Nepo wasn't too happy about it, but he kind of understood where Magnus Carlsen was coming from. And then just to leave y'all off, he is playing in the Croatia Grand Chess Tour tournament, which I will be going over probably in the next couple days. But and he did play a game against Jan Nepo, nostalgic, because he just played a World Chess Championship match against Jan Nepo last year. But it's going to be pretty interesting. In this article, it says right here, it didn't help that Nepo qualified for a second match with Carlsen, who had stated earlier that he preferred an opponent of the new generation, in particular GM Alireza Firouzja. 4 championships to 5. It didn't mean anything to me. It was nothing, said Carlsen in yesterday's podcast. I was satisfied with the job I had done. I was happy I had not lost a match, but that was it. Carlsen also repeated once again, I'm reading an article, Carlsen also repeated once again that he intends to continue playing, just not matches. Just so there is no I can't say this word. I'm just going to skip it. Here, I'm not retiring from chess. I'm going to be an active player. I'm leaving later today to go to Croatia to play the Grand Chess Tour. From there on, I'm going to go to Chennai, hopefully I said it right, to play the Olympiad, which is going to be a lot of fun. And the Norwegian team is seeded as number 4 there, into Miami, which is going to be one of the real highlights of the year, the FTX Crypto Cup, which is going to be awesome, and right after the Singfield Cup. And hey, that's going to be pretty cool. And hopefully I can get a FTX affiliate. No, I don't know. I'm not going to be talking about that. But so the next player is Ding Liren. Is Ding Liren going to be the next World Chess Championship? And you know what's crazy is that if Hikaru Nakamura was right under Ding Liren. So if you would have flipped that, Hikaru Nakamura could have had a chance to be World Chess Championship against Jan Nepo, which would have been ballistic and crazy since he's a streamer and everybody already praises him over the internet, and it would have been hectic. And so I think that's most of the stuff that I wanted to cover in the article. Oh yeah, Jan Nepo, update on what he said. Let me just get his exact wording. It didn't come as a shock because surely it wasn't the first time I heard about his intentions, he said. We also chatted briefly online after Madrid, and it was quite clear that most likely he wouldn't play. But as they say, hope dies last. Frankly, it's quite disappointing. The rematch was something I was really looking forward to, which sad at the same time. You know, Magnus Carlsen has been a world champion for years on end. And, you know, the greats like Garry Kasparov and Fischer denied defending the World Chess Championship title. And about facing Ding, instead, Nepo said, I would say chess-wise, overall, his chess skills could easily match those of Magnus. Ding has undisputedly been one of the best players of the last years. He also had this 100-game undefeated streak, which is quite something. I remember that. And Jan Nepo, just to continue, he has a very different style, though. It's a very different person, a very different player, and a very serious opponent. It will be tough. It's going to be interesting. It's basically going to be Russia against China in this game, since Jan Nepo is from Russia and Ding Liren is from China. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, this matchup. And just tell me what you think. Is it going to be, I'm going to have a question above. I don't know where it shows up. I'm pretty sure it shows up on Spotify, but I'm going to have a question pretty much saying, who are you going to be rooting for in this next World Chess Championship? Is it going to be Ding Liren or Jan Nepo? And I'm pretty interested on what openings are going to be played, and plus who's going to get the upper hand. Is it going to be a close game, or is it going to be just like last year, somebody just gets, 5 wins in a row and is not coming back at all? So, hey, let's see. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Hey, I'm glad that you can just listen to what I have to say, especially since it's not on a Tuesday. You know, I'm trying to do better with just posting a lot more and being part of the chess community. So if you want to just have the news, it might be the next day. It might be hours after the news comes out, but I'm going to be here delivering news all the time. And plus two, my views and other chess strategies and tactics that you need to learn to progress to be a better chess player. And that's going to be my goal for the end of the year, to teach as many people as possible and to share my assignment for every tournament that I'm interested in, of course. And so, hey, you made the right decision. I'm glad that you are here right now to listen to me as H1. And hey, I'll see you next time. Make sure to follow so that you can stay notified for my next episode. because it might be random. It's not just going to always be on Tuesday and Thursday. It's going to be sporadic and random. All right. And I need you to be notified. So, hey, thank you.